Good evening, everybody. We are here on Tuesday, March 12th. It's the Board of School Trustees Business Meeting, and we are here at Little Spartans Preschool. We're very excited. We like to go on the road, take the show on the road. So let's all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, we're excited to be here, and it looks like Mallory's going to give us a little presentation before we have the Mallory Cameron show for the entire meeting.
I'm sorry, you get to hear me talk a lot tonight, but I'll try to summarize it the best I can. So welcome to Little Spartans Preschool. I thought it would be a really good time to just kind of go over our program and what we offer here at Little Spartans. I know that there's a lot of moving parts and some people don't realize all the different pieces of it. Our mission here at Little Spartans is to provide comprehensive and high-quality education in an inclusive social setting by professional, competent, and compassionate staff, promote the growth and development of children and families while improving their quality of life in an ever-changing society. So here at Little Spartans, we have 3 different programs. Our largest is Head Start, where we service 3 to 5-year-old children. They must meet eligibility requirements. For our half-day students, they attend Monday to Thursday. And then we do have a full-day program for 4 to 5-year-olds who will be transitioning to kindergarten. We currently service 134 Head Start students and then an additional 15 spots funded through our partnership with CFSS. We have 4 full-day classrooms and 3 half-day classrooms at no cost to families. Another program we offer is Title I Preschool. This is for 4 to 5-year-old children. It's Monday to Friday, half-day. We also this year have a full-day transition room for students that we identified last year that just weren't quite ready for kindergarten. So we use that as a transition room. We currently have 72 spots available in our title program. We have 1 full-day classroom and 2.5 half-day classrooms, and again at no cost to families. So I think that's really important. Our 3rd program is developmental preschool. This is for 3 to 5-year-old children with specific needs. However, we also incorporate 3-year-olds that are typically developing so that they can be language models for their peers. Again, that's Monday to Friday, half days. We have 48 spots available right now in our developmental preschool. We have 2 half-day classrooms and no cost to families. So that's a little bit of what we offer and our availability this school year. We do have specific criteria that we cover for curriculum and resources. We use the Indiana's Early Learning Standards as well as Head Start Performance Standards. And on the screen you can see our resources that we use for our curriculum. We use the High Scope Preschool curriculum. We use Hegarty, which is for phonological or phonemic awareness. And this is something newer that we've done with the Hegarty. It also correlates to what students will use in kindergarten. So I'll show you a little example of that. And then we also use conscious discipline as well. So Hegarty is utilized in all of our classrooms every day. This is also a program that is used in kindergarten. And I have a quick little 60-second video. This is Miss Charlene. She is a full-day Head Start teacher, and she's doing a Hegarty lesson on alphabet cards. So what you can see here is not only do they have the sound for the letter, they're saying the letter, they're saying the sound, and then they also have a hand movement with it as well. And this is something that every classroom practices every day, and then when they get to kindergarten, that will be part of their instruction as well. There's lots of pictures on this presentation because as we went through, the pictures really say it all. You can see all the experiences and the learning through play, through pictures. And we really like this quote around here by Mr. Rogers. Play is often talked about as if it were a relief from serious learning, but for children, play is serious learning. So we use our staff and we position them in different areas for play to help navigate and learn through those new experiences. Here at Little Spartans, we have lots of opportunities for students. Just to name a few, we do yoga. You can see a picture at the bottom left there of kiddos doing yoga on their yoga mats. We have some great indoor and outdoor gross motor areas. You can see through some of the pictures there that our students love to play outside. Students love to learn through sensory play. At the top right, you can see a student with some kinetic sand. We also have lots of community helpers that come to our building for students, and they interact with them. And then we also have, actually just right next door, we have a STEAM room where we set up STEAM challenges. That's the science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics. And so we have lots of students that enjoy going there each week. Not only opportunities for students, we also have lots of opportunities for family engagement. Every program tries to have at least one family engagement event a month. And just to name a few, and you can see some pictures, we do our open house, we have fatherhood and motherhood programs, we have monthly parent meetings. In the fall, we had a Zoo-Boo. Some of you were here and attended that. We had a fall fest. We have holiday programs for all of our classes. We did a 100-day celebration. We just recently had a school readiness carnival. And then, of course, one that we always get really excited about coming close to the end of the year is graduation. So we really love for families to come and be a part of their child's learning experience. We wouldn't be able to do what we do without our community partners. I listed just some of them on the screen. You can see in the pictures, our local eye doctors and dentists, they come free of charge to check out our students and make sure that there isn't any further medical need as well. So we are very, very fortunate here at Little Spartans. We do have additional resources here in our building that we're very fortunate to have. The clothing closet and food pantry is right here in the building. We have occupational therapy, physical therapy, and speech services right on site available for students that need them. And of course, we wouldn't be able to do what we do without our team. Our certified teachers, our certified staff are all highly qualified, which you don't necessarily see in other preschool programs. So they all have teaching license and bachelor's degrees, at least. Our team is focused on growing and improvement. We are student-centered, and of course, our data drives our instruction. With our team, we're continuously moving forward. This year, we implemented professional learning communities, which you might have heard in some other settings referred to as PLCs. We have training each month based on staff need, And of course, just like with the rest of the corporation, we are working on that Marzano framework for the high reliability schools. We're specifically focusing on level 1 and level 2. This year, we are really targeting on level 2, effective instruction. And as a staff, if you can see the picture on the screen, we created a model of instruction, what we can guarantee that instruction will look like in every room in our building for any student, to make sure every student is getting that high quality instruction. Our next steps, we're going to use our model of instruction to create an instructional vision for our programs, for our building, and then of course any additional training as needed. And again, just thank you to all of you. I know Ann, you serve on our policy council. We appreciate that. Just for supporting LSP, our students, and our families. Thank you.
Mallory, what's your current waiting list?
It
Do you
depends
have
on
them?
which program.
Okay, so is there a waiting list for all the programs or just?
Not for all of the programs.
Okay.
Our Head Start has a waiting list. Our title, we have one entering on Thursday, and that will fulfill that.
Okay.
And then developmental, with our partnership with First Steps, it's kind of touch and go on how many we have. So right now, we have about 255 students.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Now we will move on. I'd like to seek a motion to approve the agenda as submitted and amended.
I'll make a motion.
I heard Jeremy first. Ryan, you want to second it?
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ryan. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Public comment, patron comments on agenda items. Seeing none, move on to the consent agenda, which includes the approval of minutes from the regular business meeting of 2/13/24 and the executive session of 2/22/24, the personnel report, retirements, resignations, leave of absence, etc., the approval of February 2024 claims 67193 to 67464, the annual list of outstanding checks more than 2 years old, and then our donation, a donation of $1,000 from Karen Elliott, daughter of Harold Freeman, former FCSC teacher, to Grandview Elementary to be used for classroom supplies in her father's memory, and then a donation of $8,000 from G Corporation in Morristown, Indiana, to WCC to be used to purchase tools and equipment for the welding and automotive technology programs. Seeing that, I'd like to seek a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Lori. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Chris. Thank you, Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Personnel, on to the action items, personnel report, Mr. Harris.
Okay, on the personnel report this evening, recommended for employment, under certified staff, we have Kyla New as a restorative facilitator at the middle school. Under classified staff, Morgan Welty as Title I instructional assistant here at Little Spartan Preschool. Under extracurricular of the certified staff, recommending Lindsay Brooks as the girls soccer coach for the middle school, Lexi Crutchfield as the golf coach for the middle school, Jason Kraus as tennis coach for the middle school, and Jeff Martin as the boys soccer coach at the middle school. Then under classified staff, recommending Eric Burkhart as the 8th grade volleyball coach, Rick Combs as the 7th grade girls basketball coach, and Ryan Fields as the assistant track coach.
Okay, thank you. I'd like to seek a motion to approve the personnel report.
I so move.
Thank you, Ann. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jeremy. Any discussion?
Yeah, I have a question. We approved someone to be our middle school golf coach at the last board meeting, and now we're approving someone for that same position at this board meeting.
Right after we approved, previously, his job changed from one time of the day to another time of the day, and therefore he had to resign, and so we were fortunate to have somebody else.
Just making sure we're on us, he was only
Nope.
here 20 days, something like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
nope,
All right, thank
he,
you.
the job change there that he was not
And
expecting.
we had 25 kids try out for the middle school golf team tonight. 25. That's more than we've ever had. And Lexi Crutchfield will do a really
I think
good
she'll be
job.
excellent.
She'll be excellent with them. But 25 kids, 7th and 8th grade, that's fantastic.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand, opposed, same sign, motion carries. Now we get to begin the Mallory Tanner Show. I'm excited to have you present to us tonight, Mallory. We know you have a lot prepared.
Okay, we'll start with the Head Start orientation training. So it's an annual requirement to orient the board about Head Start. Head Start is a federal program with the original purpose of the program being to prepare children living in poverty for school. The Fayette County School Corporation is the grantee for the Head Start program in Fayette County. The Fayette County School Board is the governing board for the local program and has the responsibility for the following: ensuring compliance with federal laws and regulations, understanding the philosophy and the role of parents in the policy council, being fiscally and legally accountable for overseeing and administering the program, ensuring that internal controls are in place to safeguard federal funds, and reviewing and improving all major agency policies, including self-assessment, financial audits, and the Head Start grant process in carrying out our grant provisions. The Head Start program is governed by the policies and procedures of the Fayette County School Corporation and federal Head Start performance standards. The Head Start Policy Council must be consulted and approve planning procedures and general administration of the program. Locally, the Head Start program serves all of Fayette County with 7 Head Start classrooms here at the Fayette County School Corporation's Early Learning Center. In partnership with CFSS, approximately 15 additional children with special needs are also serviced in Head Start classrooms annually. Are there any questions about your responsibilities?
I missed out.
Seeing no questions, I'd like to seek, excuse me, a motion to approve the Head Start orientation and training.
I so move.
Thank you, Ann. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ryan. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. To the Head Start Community Assessment.
Okay, so tonight I'm seeking approval for the Head Start Community Assessment. Head Start must do an intensive community assessment every 5 years before the start of the new project period. This is the 2nd year of our new project period, so it's much smaller, what you've got in your board packets this evening. Updates were made to that community assessment to meet the needs of students and families. We use those changes that we find to meet the needs of students and families. Some community strengths that we identified were numerous community agencies and churches that serve families, the school system's commitment to early childhood education, higher education opportunities, our community health coalition, and our community partnership with Gleaners. Some weaknesses that we identified in our community assessment were elevation in unemployment rates, a high poverty rate, food insecurity, health issues such as obesity, smoking, drug abuse, and addiction, limited transportation, a high child abuse and neglect rate, and few affordable quality child care options. Are there any questions about the community assessment?
Okay.
It was a lot of work.
Any other questions for Mallory? Seeing none, I'd like to seek a motion to approve the Head Start Community Assessment Report.
Madam President.
Got Chris out there first?
Okay, and I'll second.
Thank you, Lori. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The Head Start Self-Assessment Report.
Okay, so tonight we're seeking approval for the Head Start Self-Assessment Report. Each year, Head Start must complete a self-assessment in order to provide continual improvements to the program. Fayette County Head Start conducted their self-assessment during the months of January and February. The Head Start Leadership Team and Self-Assessment Committee, which was composed of parents, community members, and staff, conducted self-assessment across all aspects of the program. Some strengths that were identified were FCSC as the grantee, our community partnerships, our disability partnership, our facilities, our highly qualified certified staff, our fiscal management, ongoing monitoring procedures, transportation, and record keeping and reporting. Some areas of concern that were identified were staff job descriptions, cross-training job positions, increasing health trauma-informed care for staff and families while reducing the stigma for mental health support, social emotional curriculum resources, a partnership with domestic violence and substance abuse agencies, disabilities educations for families and staff. We also identified that we need to explore fiscal PD opportunities for the fiscal officer and myself, and then also training for the lead family service coordinator and myself on the parent, family, and community engagement plan. The targeted areas for improvement were used to write program action goals for our next program year, as well as the duration of our 5-year grant, which is 2023 to 2028. Any questions about the self-assessment?
Okay, seeing no questions, I'd like to seek a motion to approve the Head Start self-assessment report.
I so move.
Thank you, Ann. A second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Jeremy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to the Head Start program goals.
Okay, we're seeking approval this evening for our Head Start program goals. The 24-25 program year, as I stated earlier, will be the second year of our 5-year grant process. Our self-assessment processes led to the creation of short-term goals to coincide with our program's 5 action goals and objectives for the 5-year grant cycle. So you can see our short-term goals in your program or in your board packet. Just as a reminder, our 5 big goals for the 5-year cycle is 1, the program will continue to improve the ongoing planning process in order to provide quality services and meet the needs of families in our program, and ensure children meet benchmarks identified for successful transition to kindergarten in all 5 domains, which are approaches to learning, social and emotional development, language and literacy, cognition, and perceptual, motor, and physical development. Our second goal, the program will provide information to families on the variety of services that the program offers to encourage caregivers to overcome life stressors, which will foster stability in the home that will in turn nurture mental health and wellness for the whole family. Our third goal, the program will create longitudinal plans to address updates to facilities and policies and procedures in order to maintain quality standards to provide healthy and safe environments for children to develop school readiness skills. Goal 4, the program will improve employee recruitment and retention, which will enhance the quality school readiness instruction by qualified staff by creating a climate where staff feels supported in and out of the classroom. And then Goal 5, the program will maintain compliance with the new Head Start performance standards to enable children to be ready for kindergarten academically, emotionally, and medically.
A lot of talking, right?
It's a government agency.
I have a question about
Sure.
the goals. Do the goals stay relatively the same year to year, or do the goals change dramatically? I mean, because I'm sure some of these things take a while to fully
Sure.
see
So
to
for the
fruition.
grant cycle, there's the 5 big goals that were identified, and then each year we have different objectives for those goals.
So do the goals change, or the objectives change, or
The
do they all?
The objectives change
Got it.
each program year.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
No other questions? I'd like to seek a motion to approve the Head Start program goals.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Lori. Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Brian. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Are we on to the grant, budget justification?
So we're seeking approval to apply for the grant, and we'll talk about the budget, which is all included in your board packet. For the 24-25 program year, Head Start is applying for a total of $1,425,192 in federal funds, which includes $18,937 for training and technical assistance. We are required to provide $356,298 in matching non-federal share funds. These are what we refer to as in-kind funds. They're community contributions, including volunteerism, that demonstrates community support for the program. We will serve children in a center-based program using the double half-day program design in 3 classrooms and the full-day program design in 4 classrooms. We will continue to partner with CF Special Services to provide programming for up to an additional 15 special needs preschoolers in our classrooms. And then a breakdown of the budget. It's included in your board packet. Approximately 90% of the total budget is allocated for salaries and fringes, and then the remaining 10% is allocated for transportation, training, supplies, and services. Any question about the grant application or budget?
Okay, I'd like to seek a motion to approve the Head Start budget justification.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Brian. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Thank you, Jeremy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to the Head Start Training and Technical Assistance Plan.
So the training and technical assistance grant was also referenced in the grant, the budget approval. So we are applying for $18,937 for training and technical assistance for the 24-25 program year. These funds are allocated for supplies and speakers for trainings for families and staff in the areas of child health, safety and development, education, disabilities, family partnerships and parent engagement, transportation, program governance, human resources, and then eligibility, recruitment, selection, enrollment, and attendance, as well as management systems and fiscal management. Any questions?
Okay, I'd like to seek a motion to approve the Head Start Training and Technical Assistance Grant Plan.
I so moved.
Thanks, Ann. A second.
Oh.
Thank you, Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to the Head Start Selection Criteria Priority Guidelines.
Okay, this is the last one that we'll need approval on this evening. So we're seeking approval for our Head Start priority guidelines. Students are enrolled based on the priority guidelines of last year's children, income eligible children with highest priority points, income eligible 3-year-olds after August 1st, 2024 with highest priority points, children with disabilities determined by CF Special Services who are at least 3 years old, and over-income children with highest priority points. Our priority points are assigned by our lead family service coordinator. Any questions?
Okay, I'd like to seek a motion to approve the Head Start Selection Criteria and Priority Guidelines.
I'll make that motion. Go ahead.
Thank you, Ryan. Second. Thank you, Jeremy. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate all your work. You do a tremendous job. Very great. Okay, on to school board policy waiver of the second reading and approval of policy 416 grading system.
Thank you. I wanted to share, in your packet was a memo from Kelly Flom, CHS principal, and something that's been missing with the weighted grades at CHS are our ES or enriched sequence classes. These are more difficult classes than the traditional class, but they have not been given that extra weighting of 0.3. So Kelly requested that of cabinet, and we support that move, but we need to change board policy. So on board policy 4.16, there's just one change that's really is added where we add with dual credit, advanced placement, and then ES, enriched sequence classes. So we would add enriched sequence as classes that will be weighted by 0.3 of a point. So because that's the only change, I'm asking two things of the board with this action. The first would be to waive the second reading. Our board policy requires us to have a first reading and then at the next month a second. I didn't feel the need to really do that, and this allows them to start working on handbooks and different things. So my first request is seeking a motion to waive the second reading of board policy 4.16 for this one change. So that's the first step.
So is it gonna be two motions?
You'll need to make a motion to waive, and then we'll motion to
Okay, you didn't
approve.
separate them on here.
Yeah,
Okay.
sorry.
I do have a question though. Before we do that, when I saw that this was gonna be changed, I was kind of surprised. I always thought ES was part of the weighted grades. So when students come into high school, and if they qualify, which I'm guessing is determined in middle school or by their grades, and they can get into like biology, ES, they have to take that before they can take a dual credit, right? These ES classes, or?
Not necessarily. Some freshmen take dual credit in some of the different content areas, like the engineering classes or some of the ag classes.
But on these subjects?
With those subjects, those are equivalent to other grade level classes that we're asking for ES. So ES is only biology, algebra, geometry, and the English classes. So having that equivalent is the reason for requesting the dual credit.
Right, so somebody coming in that takes biology ES, they wouldn't be eligible to take a dual credit biology till after, is this like a freshman? Oh, it's all 3 years.
All 3 years.
Okay, so they may not be an
They're not just
early
determined.
college, high school kid.
They don't necessarily have to be a CHS student to take the ES classes. Sometimes it's recommendation by 8th grade teachers, by the
Okay.
counselors, by the NWA scores, or even parent recommendation if they want some challenge. But right now, we're seeing that there's really no incentive to take the ES classes because it's harder, but you're not really getting anything for it.
Right, okay. Thank you for that.
I have a question. We've been here before. Why did we sympathize with that program at one time? We had honors classes for
My
years.
understanding, I asked the same question when department chairs brought up the request for this. And so I think historically before ECHS, the weighting was all over the place. And it wasn't very consistent, so they took all the weighting away and just kept dual credit weighted. And then now with the ES option, we're wanting to encourage students to take more rigorous classes with that little incentive of the weighted grade.
Also,
We had honors history, we had honors government. we had-
Yeah, I'm really glad you asked that because I knew my kids got a weighted grade from that, but that was before ECHS.
well, also too, that was at the time when we had cumulative grading at the high school.
It all
And-
kind of dissipated at the same time.
Yeah, because cumulative grading went out, which was a disaster for a kid that was in big trouble in their freshman year, because in essence, they could never catch up. So weighted classes and cumulative grading went out the window at the same time.
Our
So,
hope too is also, we're trying to increase the rigor at the lower levels because we need more students taking those higher level courses. And for some reason, kids have opted out of not taking those higher level courses. So we're trying to bring some of that back and encourage kids to, instead of icing out as seniors, take your advanced classes like your physics and your dual credit courses. So this is in hopes, I think the department heads are trying to start building their skill sets earlier so that they might feel more confident when they get into those junior and senior years to take those upper level courses. Even if they're not taking ECHS, we still want kids to take the upper level courses.
well, I think curriculum things have to go, because in some advanced classes, it was not the quality of the work so much, it was the quantity of the work that was expected. So I think that turned a lot of kids off. I've got to do twice as much work for why?
Right. We get that.
We tried to increase or change the definition of rigor at that level.
Yeah. So basically speaking, if you got a a B in in an ES class now, instead of it having on your GPA as a 3.0, it would register as a 3.3. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions for Kelly or Kim? Seeing none, I'd like to seek a motion to waive the second reading of School Board Policy 4.16.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Lori. A second.
I'll second that.
Thank you, Chris. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising a hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now I'd like to seek a motion to approve the policy 4.16 on the grading system.
Give that motion.
Thanks, Jeremy. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Ryan. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising a hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, next school calendar, Mr. Collins.
Thank you. This was a pretty easy calendar process this time. Mr. Beard served on it as a representative of the board, but again, we had a membership made up of parents, teachers, administrators, and support staff. And this is a cycle in the years where it's pretty easy to get a clear-cut 2-week break at Christmas, things like that. So this calendar is for 25, 26. So we typically work out 2 years, which not all districts do that, but on occasion we may revise this one down the road, but I don't see any changes. So school would start for students on August 6th, with teachers working on the 4th and the 5th, so we start on a Wednesday, which that seems to be preferred among our teachers. Then we would have our Teacher Professional Day Conference Day on October 15th, which coincides with our report card time for the first grading period. And then fall break would be the last full week of October, 27th through the 31st. We'll continue with a 3-day Thanksgiving break. That's become well-liked, I think, across the district. And then a 2-week winter break from December 22nd through Friday, January 2nd, with students returning on January 5th. January 19th will be a professional day for Martin Luther King Day, so students will not attend on January 19th. We will not add a built-in snow day again this year, so the next 2 calendar years we're trying to go without. We'll probably get hit with massive snow amounts, but we will have, as we have for this year and next year, for next year, and the year after, the first 3 weather closing days will be e-learning days. So our staff will have kids prepared to have their devices. So if we miss 1 snow day in the winter, it'll be an e-learning day. And the state allows up to 3 where it doesn't have to be synchronous teaching where kids have to be online 50% of the day. That would be a real challenge in our district with some technology capabilities. So after the 3rd e-learning day, then we'll just add days to the end of the year after Memorial Day. So that's the plan with that. Spring break will be the last full week of March, so it'll be March 23rd through the 27th. And then Good Friday will be off April 3rd. And then our last student day will be May 21st. So we could add 1 more day there. The teachers' last work day would be the 22nd, right before Memorial Day, and graduation from CHS June 7th. So I think it's a really good calendar, and I submit this to you for approval for the 25-26 school year.
Probably the shortest meeting in at least 15 years.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really good to hear. Okay, I'd like to seek a motion to approve the 25-26 school calendar.
I'll give that motion.
Thank you, Jeremy. A second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ryan. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Now we're on to public comments. Persons wishing to make the board aware of suggestions, ideas, or comments may address the board at this time. Comments which involve personnel or students must be discussed in private. Seeing none, we will move on to superintendent discussion group reports. Anybody have anything they want to share? Next up, principal director reports.
We have lots of things to celebrate at CHS. This is all over the last week, so bear with me. Over the weekend, the speech team competed at state. Christina Caldwell and Eli Barker both drove into the quarterfinals, and that means they're automatically in the top 24 of the state. Mr. Caldwell says this is the best overall team results we've seen in the last 3 years, so very proud of our speech students. Last week, 3 of our top seniors recognized their influential teachers at the iStar Banquet in Rushville. Carson Beasting recognized Ann Balmer, her math teacher at high school. Maddie Hogger recognized her mother, Lisa Hogger. And Abigail Soriano recognized Brenda Pullman, who was a retired Grandview teacher. So it was very nice to celebrate and recognize teachers that night. Yesterday, our CHS Today students earned 3 honorable mentions at IASB. For news package, Ambria Clark, Sophia Sutherland, Claire Burrows, and Alex Sweet placed. Photojournalism was Ambria Clark, and cinematography was Peyton Sherwood. Coming up next Monday is the Winter Sports Award at the high school at 7 p.m. And if you really want to plan ahead, the CHS musical is the weekend of April 12th, 13th, and 14th. The Old Man and the Old Woman. All of those will be in the
Can you say the dates again for the musical?
The musical, The Old Man, of the dates, April 12th, 13th, and 14th.
Thank you for that. Anybody else have anything you want to share? Okay.
Valerie, are you sure?
Yeah, Melody, got anything left?
Director of Operations, Mr. Harris.
Okay, you have the fund summary in front of you. Everything continues to go fine with that. The other thing, I can't go into really any details, but since the last board meeting, they have completed the audit, our biannual audit, which should be every 2 years. We just completed the second time with less than a year because they got backed up with COVID and a whole bunch of stuff. And I can tell you that the business department is thrilled that it is over. Overall, we're pleased with the report, and we can get back to kind of business as normal, I guess you could say. But the final report will be coming out from the State Board of Accounts probably later this month. By the time we can't go into details.
Thank you very much. Assistant Superintendent report.
I don't have anything to report tonight.
Oh. Superintendent's report.
I always have things, so. You know how that is. First, I want to acknowledge the students, faculty, parents, and the community. We raised $4,453.20 for Beat Cancer in 4 quarters, which is a competition each year with our nemesis to the south. But that's just a really great thing that our kids do with Franklin County every year. So I want to commend Andrea and her team and the high school team and all the kids who worked to raise those dollars for cancer. We were also featured in a publication by Chartwell. This is their national publication. I'll pass it around if you want to see it, but our own Randy Harris is quoted in it, talking about our smoker and the barbecued meats that we're doing. It's very unique. So we're getting some really cool. We have a pellet-fed smoker. I think most of you are aware of that, and some of you enjoyed the meats. But I remember when they first brought the smoker in, this truck went flying by my office about 150 miles an hour, and it was Daryl getting there to sample the meat. Because he passed me as I was trying to get there. So I know we were able to sample the meats, and they make their own salsas, but this is really unique for schools to have an opportunity to have food items that Chartwell's provides for our kids. And so it's a great partnership, but this is neat. I'll pass it around if any of you want to look at that. Randy's quoted in there as well. And then I also want to acknowledge a longtime employee who passed away, Charlie Hobbs. 38 years he did the job Daryl's doing and really set the standard for, I think, excellence in our transportation maintenance department. And, you know, schooling is in that family's blood. We have 2 of his daughters who teach, Nancy Red and Mary Callahan, who are both teachers for us here. But just a remarkable man and a great history here. And I just wanted to acknowledge his family and remember him.
Thank you. Okay, for the good of the cause, anybody have anything they want to share today? Seeing none, Mr. Hunt. You have to read
I'll
what
make
that's...
that motion.
Thank you, sir. Do I hear a second? Thank you, Brian. All those in favor signify by raising your hand. Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank Jama for the delay.